Hi everybody, welcome to Wisdom Works, your good company home for success and fulfillment. Now I know how busy you are, so if it's okay with you, I'm just going to jump straight into it. Now it's been said what's old is new and what's new is old. And I could go on and on about how the old and the new are morphing in all sorts of ways these days. Because the reality is, in today's marketplace, convergence is king. And the old and the new and the emerging are all being bundled in together and sizing each other up and jostling for your attention. Now if I was to ask you, are you seeing more lunchtime massages and yoga and relaxation classes? You'd probably say yes. And if I was to ask you, have any wellness education programs or the latest brain science workshops grabbed your attention? Again, you might likely say yes. And you may have even noticed that many executives and business owners are out there these days hiring resilience and mindfulness coaches, or you may have even had one yourself. Now that for me is really staggering, because you've got to remember when I was first starting out, getting business owners and business leaders to practice mindfulness was way out there and woo-woo on steroids. And to really ram home the point, I remember one of my early executive coaching clients, and I always remember how he told me how guilty he was about taking time out to do a daily mindfulness circuit breaker in his office. He fessed up to me just how embarrassed and afraid he was that his PA would think he was out there with the fairies goofing off. Now at that time he was a state general manager, and lo and behold, not soon afterwards he was promoted to managing director of Oceania, which was a much bigger role. And so you can imagine how stoked I was when he told me that it was his navel gazing that was the difference maker, and that he had never felt so alive and fulfilled in his life before. And the thing is, that was a really radical endorsement back in those days. And it makes you realise just how far we've come since those pioneering days. And that's great, because I really do believe that a new synthesis and integration of our collective wisdom is critical for growing on our work journey and improving our lot and make a better life for us all. Yet, I'd like to make the point though, that like all good things, there's also a flip side to it though, isn't it? And I'm willing to bet London to a brick that many of you might have experienced, that this blender of the old, the emerging and the new isn't all smooth sailing, is it? So the fact is, with all this convergence and choice on offer, quite often people find themselves scratching their head and mulling over what is real value and what's fool's gold and what really is the right tack to take. And that's exactly why I've created Wisdom Works and the Triple M GEM framework that sits within it. Because what's different about it, it is a comprehensive pathway to transform all aspects of the people side of organisational life, whether people, performance, culture or leadership. And it's all put together in a simple and structured way and broken down into part by part and step by step pieces, so you don't have to feel at sea anymore. Now as this is just a short piece of video content, unfortunately I haven't got time to tell you everything about it. So keep in mind this is just a taste. So if you are interested in finding out more about it, then I do go into it in a lot more detail in my Real Way Formula workshops and obviously in my coaching programs. But real quickly, all the Wisdom Works blogs are categorised into 3 pillars of wisdom, and they are the master, the meaning and the messengers. So let's have a look at the master. It's all about right guidance and leadership. And so it speaks to things like what is successful business mastery, or how do I fulfill my leadership potential, or when should I lead, or when should I follow, or how do I lead myself, let alone others. So next is the meaning, which is all about right knowledge, insight and learning. And it tackles all the big, hairy, what's it all about type questions. And so it covers things like your passion, your purpose, your mission, your vision and values, or how to stay true to your brand identity, which these days you might have noticed aren't weasel words anymore. And so if you've ever wondered about you and your business or your organisation's place in the grand scheme of things, or what type of legacy you want to leave, that's what we'll cover here. And now the last one is the messages, which you guessed is all about right culture and community. Because it's a matter of fact, unless the machines have just completely taken over, the last time I looked, culture is still being shaped by people, and they still are our greatest asset. So yes, what's old is new and what's new is old. And that's exactly why these 3 pillars of wisdom, the master, the meaning and the messengers, are my gift to you. And I haven't imparted them in this way before. And I take them really personally, as they are my humble gift and my attempt at a fresh fusion of the best of the old, synthesised with the best of the new, and chock-a-block full of premonitions of what's to come. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and you can find what you're looking for in these wisdom works, and you can continue to get a lot of value out of all the strategies and insights and practical tools and techniques that are housed here. And until we meet again, be who you are meant to become.